Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we get a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates. Before we start the video, I want to wish Merry Christmas to all the Orthodox Christians. That's right, over here in Serbia we celebrate Christmas today on January 7th. But before I go and meet my family and my girlfriend's family, we gotta talk about what's new in bodybuilding today. So this is the very interesting thing that is circling around. So Nick Walker is over 300 pounds right now as his prep for the Pittsburgh Pro begins. Now, in my previous videos about Nick Walker, I already said that I think he's at his biggest ever. He did mention his weight a couple of weeks ago, and it was like over 290, 292, I think, but now it got to 302, which is incredible, guys, which is absolutely crazy. So Nick Walker at the peak of his bulk is 302 pounds, which is, heavier than some much taller guys who are also like top 10 Olympians. For example, Regan Grimes. I don't think he's over 300 pounds. He's usually a little bit under, and he's like, 4 inches taller than Nick. So that just tells you how big this guy right here actually is. And in his physique updates, basically, you can see that he is looking full-blown, man. Like, his legs right here did look like they gained some significant size. They looked fuller and rounder than before, for sure. Same thing about his upper body. He looks like an absolute monster. Now, do I think this new weight gain is a really good thing for Nick Walker? Does this mean that he's going to be at his absolute best ever? Not necessarily, no, because even so far, Nick was one of the biggest bodybuilders on any stage. I mean, the legs could have used more size because his legs are kind of short compared to his upper body and his outer sweep. His vastus lateralis is also kind of short, so he needs to add a lot more thickness than another person who has better structure of the quad. So he needed more size in that area, but I don't know, man. I think he probably would have made his legs bigger if his waist was simply smaller. I think that's what hurt him the most in his last showing, the New York Pro. So I don't know how beneficial new muscle is for Nick Walker, really. If you, for example, compare his 2021 version when he won the New York Pro to last year's version when he also won the New York Pro, like, you will notice that I think he gained some muscle in the meantime. I think his legs had more mass. Overall, he was denser, thicker, but his midsection was bigger, right? His waist was wider, his stomach was more bloated, and because of that, it made everything else look smaller. So, in my opinion, Nick, overall, I think he was better at the New York Pro 2021, or the Arnold Classic 2021, or the Mr. Olympia that year. I don't think he improved since then. I actually think he has gotten worse. So, I think he was also at around 300 pounds back when he did that off-season with Dom Super Sliced. And that was the only time, I believe. So this is not exactly like the new highest weight. I don't think he was 300 pounds for a long time, but he has been there before. Now, him pushing the weight, getting as big as possible in the off-season, I mean, yeah, he kind of, I guess, needed that caloric surplus in order to make changes to certain body parts, like the legs, mainly the legs. I mean, sure, like his chest could be fuller, and I guess your lats can never be too big, stuff like that, but does he really need a lot more size? No. What he really needs is a better midsection control, and is pushing his way to over 300 pounds going to help that? I doubt that, honestly. I doubt that. I think I would prefer to have seen him stay smaller in the offseason, leaner, and just focus on that one thing more so than adding muscle to any body parts, including legs. So again, I don't know how good of a thing this is, but I know one thing: there is a lot of pressure on Nick Walker right now because he skipped those 2 Mr. Olympias. He has a lot of haters right now, a lot of people are doubting him, so he wants to prove something, and because of that, I think he's going to do whatever it takes to get better. But is it going to be possible? That's the question. Even if he puts a lot of work in, can he really make the midsection smaller? Can he actually look more aesthetic? But even if he doesn't, and he brings crazy conditioning and just keeps the stomach tucked in, doesn't let it go in any of the poses, I still believe the package he's going to bring to the Pittsburgh Pro is going to be something absolutely crazy, insane. But is it going to be enough to win that show against Martin Fitzwater? That's the question. That's the question, and I don't really know the answer at this point. I'll probably form a more definitive opinion as he keeps posting new physique updates, but as of right now, anything is possible. Maybe his midsection is going to be even worse than before, but maybe he's going to be so freak in every body part, and his midsection is going to be more controlled, and he's going to look at his absolute best ever. I don't know. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below. Alright, the next update we got is from Regan Grimes, and he says this is his first day back in the gym after being sick the past week. So, I would be lying if I told you that I don't go to the gym when I'm sick. I need to be really, really sick not to go to the gym. And I don't know if Regan was that ill, but maybe, he kind of is known for being one of the laziest bodybuilders, top Olympians, top bodybuilders in the IFBB. I'm not saying that's the truth, but that's kind of how the public perceives him. So I'm pretty sure he wasn't sick that bad. And also, it's definitely the right thing to stay back home when you're sick. And I always advise my clients to do the same thing, but personally, if I'm being honest, I just don't like to skip the gym. If I can go, I'll go. Anyways, Regan skipped it for 1 week, and this is what he looks like. Interestingly, he didn't say what his weight is. Is it 297, 295, 300, 302? We don't know, and I'm pretty sure the reason why he didn't write it is because it went down. It's probably like 290 because he was sick and he probably didn't eat as much, and he dropped some water weight, and I think it's visible. Like, he looks a tad flatter, but he looks drier. Right, he looks a little bit more defined, and I honestly like this look. It's looking pretty good, like conditioning looks better than before. Size is there, again, less than 300 pounds, lighter than Nick Walker most likely, but a lot taller, so not big enough to be a top 5 Olympian, but probably good enough to be top 10. And now, it's interesting that he still doesn't mention his new coach, Stefan Kinzel. We all know that he's coaching him. I mean, it was confirmed on Regan's channel. He didn't say Stefan's name, but he described who it is. And I talked to Milo Sarcev, and he also confirmed that they agreed on this, that he was going to change the coach, and he's going to go to Stefan. So it's a public knowledge at this point that he still doesn't tag him. Like, Derek Lunsford also wasn't tagging Chris Aceto, but he just announced it yesterday. So we know that. But Regan, he kind of actually told us, and he doesn't want to tag Stefan for some reason. I don't know why. I find it curious. Maybe they actually stopped working. Maybe something is off with that relationship. Because they're working for like a couple of months now, and Regan is still not tagging him. Why? Why is that? Is there something suspicious going on? I don't know. But yeah, this is the way he looks right now. I think he started his prep. I don't know what exactly he's prepping for. He didn't say that either. It could be Pittsburgh Pro or something like that, something around that time. Maybe Detroit Pro, maybe some other shows in that period. Not Arnold Classic, we know that. Maybe he's going to have a longer prep. I mean, Nick Walker started his prep for the Pittsburgh Pro, and he has a long time until Pittsburgh, but that's the way Nick likes to do things. He likes to do the long preps. So I don't know what Regan is planning on doing, but he already mentioned he's going to start his prep. So this is the way he looks like right now. Good enough to win a smaller, let's say, mid-level pro show and qualify for the Mr. Olympia. But to reach his full potential, we need to see something else. Alright, the next thing we got is Carlos Thomas Jr. Now, I don't know what is going on with this. Nick's Strength and Power keeps pushing Carlos Thomas Jr. for some reason. He said it before that he asked him as the dark horse who might win the Arnold Classic. And Carlos kind of embraced that because he made a statement on his YouTube channel, and he's like, I am going to this show with the mindset of, I want to win this show. I don't want to just be there, I want to win also. Now, if you guys follow my channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of Carlos's physique ever since he turned pro against Justin Shire, where he won the overall of the NPC Nationals. And, since that day, I thought he was a freak, he has a lot of potential, but he's doing the Arnold Classic right now, and he never won a pro show. Yeah, sure, Nick Walker won his Arnold Classic at his debut season. It wasn't his first pro show, it was his, I think, second pro show. He did the New York Pro before that, he won that, and then he won the Arnold Classic. And also, yeah, he did Chicago Pro the first year when he turned pro, but that was like a couple of weeks after his pro qualifier. So I would say 2021 was Nick Walker's pro debut season. And yeah, he won the Arnold Classic, but who was Nick going against? Ian Wallier and Steve Kuklo? I mean, those guys are awesome bodybuilders, but they're not Mr. Olympia winners. This year, you have 3 Mr. Olympia winners, and the current reigning Mr. Olympia champion. So Samson Dowda, Derek Lunsford, and Brandon Curry. And then you also have 3 Arnold Classic champions. Samson Dowda, Brandon Curry, and William Bonek. So this year's Arnold Classic lineup is super stacked. And I even though I love Carlos's physique, it's really freaky, it's really impressive, I don't think I can see him winning the Arnold Classic. I don't know why Nick is pushing that. Maybe I'm gonna be wrong, the way I was about William Bonek for the Spain Pro. I thought Nick was spouting nonsense when he said that Bonek was gonna win, and Bonek did end up winning. But yeah, you guys also know that Krizo was off because of his shoulder injury, and they kind of robbed Beckrus at that show. But still, Bonek won, Nick was right, I was wrong, so maybe Nick is gonna be right about this one. I really didn't watch his videos, I just saw the thumbnails, but I just don't think this is gonna happen. I don't think there is a slight chance of this happening. Best case scenario, top 5, maybe top 4, but that's very optimistic. There is no way I can imagine Carlos Thomas Jr. beating Samson Dowda, Derek Lunsford, Andrew Jacked. Yeah, sure, he can battle with Sean Clarida and James Hollinshead and like potentially crack the top 3. Maybe he can surpass William Bonek and Brandon Curry. And if this show was judged from the front only, he would probably do better, but you know, the back is Carlos's issue. I don't know how much he was able to fix it. But I don't think it's going to be good enough to be in that like top 2, top 3 at the Arnold Classic. Again, maybe best case scenario, top 3, and that's being really generous. As far as winning the Arnold Classic, come on guys, let's be realistic. That's not happening. But hey, I love the fact that Carlos embraced the hype. I hope it didn't get to his head too much, because I'm also kind of worried that he might, you know, have trouble with all that pressure, and maybe he's gonna pull out of this prep because of that, because he pulled out of a couple of preps. So hopefully this is not gonna affect him mentally in a bad way. Hopefully he's aware that it's not very likely for him to win this show, but as long as he's aware of the reality, I'm all for embracing this hype train and you know, not being like, no guys, I'm not gonna win. Of course, it's definitely a good thing for him to say that he believes in himself, that he is confident. It's gonna help him grow on social media at least. But he needs to be aware that it's most likely not going to happen. And I don't know what his mindset is like, really. Maybe he actually believes it now. Maybe he actually bought into the hype. But yeah, I don't think I see it. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this about bodybuilding, guys, subscribe to this channel. And also, if you're looking for a coach, somebody who is very available and very affordable as well, you can DM me on Instagram. Just DM me over there, we can talk about it and we can agree on the price and everything, and we can start working. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. See you soon, all the best, and bye bye.